Hello, my name's Edwin. I'm a second year CS major, and I'm interested in becoming a ULA for CS 8W and CS 64. I use he and pronouns, and I'm interested in becoming a ULA because I'm currently in CS 111, and there's an amazing ULA. I think his name is Guang, and he's been really helpful in helping me understand the material. I haven't taken CS 8W before, but I did take a look at the course overview, and I noticed that the class goes over control flows, strings, debugging, and I thought I could go over if statements as part of the control flows. So let me switch over to VS Code, and I have a small Python program here, which I'll use to demonstrate if statements. So first off, on line 3, I have a print statement that just prints something onto the terminal screen, and it prints these exact words in the little quotes. And line 4 does the same thing. It'll print this Python program will calculate how many ice cream cones you can buy. And on line 5, we are taking a input from the user, and we're asking the user, how much money in dollars do you have? So the user will type something in the terminal. You can say, let's say they type the number 5, and it will be a string. So this one is a string when you take inputs. But in Python, there's some issues when you're comparing a string, which is interpreted like a word, and a number, which is not a word. So to fix that, or to let Python know what you're doing, you could put an int before it. So now the 5 is no longer string, but it's an int. And so now that it's an integer, you can compare it with other numbers like 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever other integer numbers you want to compare it to. And so now that we have an integer, let's say you put in number 5, let's continue with our example, and go to line 7. It says if amount of money is greater than or equal to 2. So is the amount of money greater than or equal to? Well, we just put the integer 5 into the variable amount of money. So we can see that is the number 5 greater than or equal to 2? And that is true. That's a true statement. So that means we would go inside the if statement, like inside this indent, and print, you can buy at least 2 cones. Great. But then it keeps going. And on line 10, it checks, as you see, if amount of money is greater than or equal to 1. So is 5 greater than or equal to 1? Well, that's also true. So it would print, you can buy at least one cone. Great. Okay, so now let's try a different example. Let's say you put in the number 1. Let's see what happens. So now 1 is an integer because we casted it, or we made it an integer. And now on line 7, we check, is amount of money, the one is inside of amount of money, greater than or equal to 2? So we're asking, is 1 greater than or equal to 2? And that would be false, because 1 is not greater than or equal to 2. And then we keep going. So we would not print this statement because the if statement is false. So we skip it all together. So let's jump to line 9 and go to line 10. Is amount of money greater than or equal to 1? You see, is 1 greater than or equal to 1? That is true. So we don't skip, we go inside the if statement and print, you can buy at least 1 cone. And we could try this in our Python program. So let's try this out. The first example we had was 4, right? So if we do Python 3 if statements, it'll ask me how much money in dollars do you have? I have $4. And you can, as you can see, it says you can buy at least 2 cones, and you can buy at least 1 cone. Great. Okay, so next we can try the other number, which was 1. Python 3 if statements with 1. And it only says you can buy at least 1 cone, which is what it expected. So I hope that made sense and would be helpful in learning if statements and how to take inputs from the user. And that's the end of my video.